Hey guys, I'm Jax.
And I'm Victoria.
And you're listening to
Like Totally Random, a new podcast about music, movies, Netflix, and everything in between. I'm like weirdly superstitious.
I was about to say, like, some people are super superstitious.
I'm like
very superstitious.
Writing's on the wall.
I was gonna do it, but I was like, I sing too much.
It's so good.
I'm holding back.
Yeah, I'm like old school superstitious. Okay, so
like ladders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like my grandparents are Italian immigrants to Argentina. My mom has like all that kind of, they're hella Catholic, so of course there's a bunch of superstitions. And like some things I'm just like, nah, but like some things I'm just like, don't you fucking dare. Like, I'll never forget. Okay, so when I went to Argentina the first time, so there's like a family friend, and he's basically like my dad. Like, I call him dad basically most of the time. And so he came to pick us up from where we were staying at my grandparents, and there was a ladder in the middle of the sidewalk. And he's the kind of guy who's like, no, nothing, like, I'm not superstitious. None of this fucking matters. He walks under the ladder. Keep in mind, I'm screaming the whole time. I'm like, no! And my mom is like, oh my God. We go to where his car is supposed to be, and it got towed.
Damn.
So if that's not truth, I don't know what is.
Wow.
Yeah.
I always thought the mirror thing
that
freaked me out.
Me out.
Like I've definitely had times where I've broken a mirror.
Yeah.
I can remember so vividly breaking this mirror off this like vanity that I had, and I loved this vanity. It was like a 40s vanity, and this fucking mirror was like antique practically, and it like fell out of this vanity, shattered into a million pieces, and I swear I had a really bad year.
I bet.
Really bad year.
Well, pro tip, if you break a mirror, what you're supposed to do is throw sand at it.
Oh.
And that, like, negates it somehow.
So, like, that gets, like, the spirits out sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think also because it's like, you know, like
made
mirror,
out
sand,
of
glass, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
I think that's what that is.
Okay.
I have a thing with vintage mirrors. They freak me out.
Oh, well, yeah.
It depends. So... It's weird. I'm like sensitive to certain things like that, you know, like paranormal, what you will. I'll
like
walk
intuitive,
kind of, yeah. So like I'll walk into a thrift store and I'll see a mirror and I'll look at myself. It's fine. There are some mirrors that I'll see out of the corner of my eye and I'm like, absolutely do not look at yourself in that mirror. I don't know why. I'm like, if you look at the mirror, like look at it out of the corner of your eye, but do not show your face in that mirror. I don't know why. Like something will tell me, do not look at your face in that mirror.
It's your gut.
Yeah.
You know, it's that tingly, it's the hair on the back of your neck. Like, don't do it.
It gives you the heebie-jeebies. Like, I just got the chills thinking about it. Stop it. Like, I literally got the chills. I have, like, goosebumps.
Goose pimples. I hate it when people say goose pimples.
Ew, I do too. Can people not?
Like, why though?
That or like when you shiver and people are like, a goose walked over your grave.
A goose?
Yeah.
It's a goose?
Yeah.
Oh, I always thought it was like a something else.
Pretty sure it's a goose.
A duck? What did I think?
I mean,
a goat.
What's the difference? A goat?
Something.
I like that more.
I think goats are really cute.
Yeah, goats are awesome. My friend is irrationally scared of goats because of their eyes. They freak her out. I don't know. She's weird.
They're just black eyes.
She's weird. She also hates butterflies because they're too much like moths.
What?
Girl, I can't even. It's really funny because every once in a while,
but they're the same things. Like,
yeah, she hates moths, so she hates butterflies by extension. Even though butterflies are beautiful and not terrifying.
Yeah, moths are weird.
They're disgusting. Every once in a while, we'll see like a really graphic image of a moth or something, and we'll send it to her or tag her in it.
That's sad.
And every year, when you like get the memories on Instagram and Facebook, it'll pop up and we'll be like, "Guess what day it is."
Ha ha ha, in your face.
She hates us.
Your favorite day of the year.
She 100% hates us.
So back when I was, young, I wasn't allowed to have cats.
Oh.
But my mom never wanted a black cat.
Oh.
I know.
So she's that kind of superstitious?
Kind of. Like, but actually, it's all coming together now.
You're like, wait, the pieces, they're sliding together.
I felt like the kombucha girl just now.
No. No.
Yes. 100%. Yeah, actually, my mom is quite superstitious, but my mom's kind of our family, just like how you said, like we've always been quite intuitive.
Right.
And so I think there are definitely things within our family that have kind of triggered a lot of things or a lot of feelings. So she wouldn't allow me to have a black cat.
Interesting.
For like a really long time.
Wow.
And then as I got older, I'm like moved out and stuff. I've only had black cats.
I love black cats.
I love them. They're so cute.
I always wanted a black cat. Okay, this is kind of a segue, but I've always wanted a black cat.
Always.
And my mom would not get me a cat. She always growing up had dogs. She never had a cat. She's never been a cat person.
Right.
And I was like, I want a fucking black cat. And she wouldn't get it for me. She wouldn't get me a dog. I'll tell you my dog story later too. But okay, so one day I'm at my dad's because I used to go every weekend to my dad's. And my stepmom absolutely hates any animal. She will, okay, the way I react to spiders, she reacts to any normal fucking animal. A cat, a dog. She will like jump on somebody to get away from it. It's insane.
She's one of those.
She's terrified.
Okay.
For no reason.
Okay.
Anyway.
I was about to say, did she have a bad experience?
I don't think so. I don't think she's ever been bitten by a dog or anything, but she will panic.
Okay.
And so we're there, and it's one of those apartments where the apartment's above the garage. Not the garage, but like the carport kind of a thing.
Right.
So there's stairs leading up, and there are those awful stairs that like you eat shit on as a kid and you scrape your whole face. Because they were like that old school like rock.
Yeah.
You remember like the rock and the metal railings that you would never have now because it's so unsafe.
Yeah.
And so I hear meowing.
The worst.
I hear meowing and I'm like, where the fuck? There's a cat. I'm like, where's the cat? And so I'm looking between the stairs because they were like open in the back. I'm looking like, is she behind here? Like, where's the cat? And then suddenly I hear meowing again and I look up and this cat is sitting at his front door. And nobody's fed him because my stepmom isn't about to feed a cat that she's terrified of. And she literally walked down the stairs, ignored everybody that was with us, walked straight to me, and ran around my legs.
Aww.
And she let me pick her up and everything. And she was a stray. And I was like, this is my baby now. And so that's how I got a cat.
Wow. So you kept her?
Oh, of course.
Aww.
My mom couldn't say no.
Yeah.
I like manifested that shit, man.
That's true. That's super weird.
But she 100% picked me. She was literally waiting at my door for me.
Is that the kitty you have now?
Yeah.
Aw, cutie.
I've had her for like 19 years.
Damn.
Yeah.
So she was just like a baby.
Yeah, she was like 3 months old, I think, when we got her.
Wow, that's super young. So she was just by herself?
Yeah, she was all dirty and greasy because she was a street cat. I was like,
oh my God, how sad.
Yeah.
Well, she's had a good life.
She's lived a great life.
Yeah.
She's a spoiled bitch.
Just a couple of months of on the streets.
Yeah, like
she's fine.
She didn't toughen up at all. Like she's not meant for the mean streets. That's why she came find me. She came to find me. Oh my God, I can't even talk. But yeah, so I've never believed in that a black cat crosses your path is bad luck. I've never.
No, me either.
I think that's fucking stupid.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting. So like I'm Hispanic and you're Hispanic. And I think we have a lot of interesting superstitions.
Yeah, for sure.
Or like what are they called? Old wives' tales.
Yes. Yeah.
And I can't quite figure out if it's a superstition or if it's an old wives' tale.
I think they're one and the same.
Okay.
More often than not.
Right.
You know, because
there's no logic.
No, they come from like the old country and
yeah.
they just grow a life of their own, you know?
True. Yeah.
And like, I mean, I think the origins of superstitions are really interesting. Not that I can think of any right now.
I was going to say, really?
I think they're really cool.
Shall we see? Speaking of origins.
Yes.
The superstition about bad luck to walk under
a ladder?
It's a leaning ladder.
Okay.
How else would it be?
Across something, I guess it's fine. If it's not like in use.
Okay.
You know?
Gotcha.
I think that makes sense.
This superstition really does originate 5,000 years ago in ancient Egypt.
Wow.
A ladder leaning against a wall forms a triangle.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
And Egyptians regard this shape as sacred because, like, they're pyramids.
Right. So if you ruin the triangle, you are accursed.
Dude, what the fuck?
Wow. That was really interesting.
I know. I've, like, never... I didn't actually think any of those came from, like, any logic or, like, any background.
I mean, they have to. They have to come... It's like an ancient game of telephone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
like,
true.
Somebody comes up with something and then it just grows legs from there, you
That's
know?
True. Yeah, that's true.
I have a bunch of weird superstitions that I follow. I guess you could say I follow. Ladders, 100% will not walk under a ladder, even if I'm forced to.
I've like forced myself to do it
No.
just so I can like
your car will get towed.
very specific.
Absolutely not. God, I was so fucking smug that day. I was like, you son of a bitch, take that.
Yeah, but were you walking?
I don't remember. I blacked out, and then suddenly we were like in the bureaucracy of Argentina, and it was the fucking worst. Yikes. Here, take this paper, get it stamped here. Oh, they stamped the wrong one. Go all the way back. Get it stamped here. Go up to this one to get one more piece of paper. Come back to... Like, I can't even fucking explain it. It was like the DMV if the DMV didn't even run as smoothly as the DMV allegedly runs.
So, wait, was that Was that to get the car back?
Yes. Because it had been towed. Yeah, it was insane. Anyway. The salt thing, if you spill
the salt thing.
Yep.
Totally. So that's an interesting one because that's also kind of like a 35,000 BC origin. So it's from the Egyptians and the Greeks.
Okay.
And the superstition ultimately reflects how much people prized salt for food.
Okay.
So basically, if you had salt, you had enough money.
Right.
To
preserve your food and to be
regarded as like a higher class. And it was like, oh, doesn't matter.
Oh, so you spill salt and you throw it over your shoulder?
Because it doesn't matter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. So it's not to ward off the evil eye because you spilled it? Like you spilled it and everybody's like, oh, look, they don't give a shit about salt, and then you're...
Like literally not.
Huh. Interesting. That sounds
the
fake,
superstition. I know the superstition ultimately reflects how much people prized and still prize salt as a seasoning for food. The word salary shows how highly we value it. The Roman writer Patronus, literally his name is Patronus.
Okay.
Originated not worth his salt. For Roman soldiers, blah, blah, blah. Oh,
interesting.
Salt rations. Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
Like it has some sort of...
Interesting. So it's like a don't wear white after Labor Day kind of thing. Like some bougie person made it up.
Really?
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Oh, an interesting salt one is you don't hand somebody salt. You put it down. You put it down. Otherwise, you're going to fight with that person.
Oh.
Yeah, I did not know that.
I've heard that before, but I never knew... Like the fight with that person sort of thing.
Yeah, you'll get in an argument. I did not know that.
What about the knock on wood?
I knock on wood. I probably don't. I don't know where I picked that up, honestly. But if I feel something, like if I have a weird, I guess it's a weird bit of OCD. I don't know.
You do that, actually.
Yeah, if I have like a weird thought that I shouldn't, or I'm going to jinx something, I'll knock on wood.
Interesting.
And I don't know if it's because I'm like subconsciously manifesting that, if like because I'm a little more sensitive to things.
Right.
If I put that in the universe, I feel like the universe will deliver it. I don't know.
That makes sense, I think. My mom, that's super interesting. Because my mom is the same way.
Yeah.
And I think that she's more highly affected by... things out in that world than I am now. I used to be highly affected by that.
I used to also. I'll tell you what happened, but I don't know.
So, knock on wood.
Yeah, where does that come from?
Historians say that this may be one of the most prevalent superstitious customs in the United States. So, some attribute it to the ancient religious rite of touching a crucifix when taking an oath.
Interesting.
So, it's actually a religious background rather than... That
makes sense.
Which is really super interesting because I wonder
I feel like most superstition comes from religion.
But that was the first one that we've actually talked about.
That's interesting.
So, but there is the bless you when you sneeze. Yeah, but I thought that always came from the Black Plague situation.
I thought so too. Like it was your last rites or whatever. Is that not true?
No. It is, but it isn't.
Didn't they believe that when you sneezed, your soul left your body?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it's saying here.
That makes sense.
Through incarnations of good luck have accompanied sneezes across cultures for thousands of years, all largely tied to belief that sneezes expelled evil spirits. Oh.
What?
That makes a lot of sense. So you're expelling.
Right. So you're blessed.
So you're blessed.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Makes sense.
I'm trying to think of another. Okay, it's not really a superstition. This one's more of an old wives' tale. My mom says that whenever your palms are itchy, you're getting money.
Money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're...
I'm going to say that is totally false. There's been so many times when I'm like, money? And it never happened.
Not me.
Me either.
If my hand's itchy, I'll get it.
Really?
No. Yeah, 100%. Oh. My hand was itchy the other day and I found $1.
Okay.
Yeah. One time my hand was itchy and I got a fucking check in the mail that I didn't expect. Yeah, I don't know. That one I believe. I don't know if I'm getting it because I believe it or what. I don't know. It's placebo effect.
It is. Is it a placebo effect though?
I don't know.
Maybe not just for that one, but
I don't know. I mean, I think in general, if you feel safe, then you are safe, kind of a thing. There's that. Oh, you have to look each other in the eyes when you cheers.
Take a shot.
Yeah, or cheers or whatever.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Otherwise, it's 7 years bad sex.
That's true.
Who wants to risk it?
7 years is quite a long time.
That's too long. That's more than long. I don't even know.
No, too much. So then I guess on that note, superstitions always remind me of the paranormal.
Yeah,
or
for sure.
At least are tied to origins of people who believe in.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely has a otherworldly connotation, like a paranormal kind of there's spirits and things like that, bad luck, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any experiences?
Yes, I have, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've actually had quite a few experiences.
I fucking love these stories. Tell me everything.
I have a really terrible memory. So oftentimes I'll actually get deja vu.
Dude, I shit you not, a full-on vision today. Like, I can't even, you said that and I remembered.
Tell me.
I'm literally sitting at the fucking Chipotle with my friend. Like, nothing.
Chipotle.
Like, I'm really sitting there and she says something and it literally triggered me into this weird, like, I guess it was maybe a dream, but I don't know if it was like a dream I had about like a prophetic dream or whatever about the future or something. And it took me straight back into whatever that was. It was like a full-on fucking vision. Jesus. I don't even know. At first I was like, oh, I have deja vu. And then it kept getting more and more vivid. And it was like the stupidest thing that I was remembering. And then I came back to myself, if you will, and I had deja vu about
the fucking deja vu.
Yeah, about like being exactly where I was sat and seeing exactly what I was seeing.
Yeah.
And and not only that, my friend was like, you have no idea how weird that was for me to experience. You experiencing that? She's like, because we were just in the middle of talking and suddenly you turned away and the wind kicked up and then you were like, I've had a vision. What the fuck? Am I in the craft? Like, what's happening?
Yes.
Oh, I wish it could have been like the lotto numbers that I had a vision
Don't you wish sometimes that you could take these snapshots in your mind or like somebody watching something happen so they can replay exactly how this happened?
Absolutely.
I think about that. So that's actually happened to me quite a lot of times. And that's how I have usually experienced the situation. Is by this weird deja vu situation. Okay, so most often I feel like I've seen spirits of some sort. I've seen them through mirrors, so it's super interesting when you said that. It has been most often through mirrors.
Right.
I had my grandma come to me, my great grandma actually, multiple times.
Wow, that's
like
cool.
In between like sleep and like being awake. Like
a sleep paralysis kind of
I've had sleep paralysis many times, but every time she's come to me, I haven't gotten paralysis, but I'm instantly bawled crying.
Aww.
So like I'll think of like my eyes are open and I'm just like thinking of her and then like she's kind of there and then I'll just fucking bawl.
Wow.
And like I'm not a crier like at all.
Yeah. I've had that happen before.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Not exactly like that, but yeah.
But like
an overwhelming urge that you literally can't contain.
Yeah.
I had that happen to me the other day. I was driving home and I think I thought of must have been my grandma and my grandpa or something. Literally like boohoo sobbing immediately after. I was like,
seriously?
Like in the car by myself for no reason. And I was like, that was fucking weird. When it passed, I was like, thank God nobody saw that.
Dude, that's literally what it's like.
Yeah.
Except that I've never been awake for those.
Well,
I've never been like fully conscious.
Right.
And so then, but on that note, I used to be able to
astral project?
No. What is the vivid dreams?
Oh, lucid dream.
Lucid dreams. And I think those are tied.
Right.
In some sort of way.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
At least
absolutely. For me, like those have always been kind of tied.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I feel like you're in a
state, a different state.
You're in like a susceptible state, but you're still more in control than just a dream, you know?
Right.
Which I think makes sense.
You're conscious,
right,
in a way.
Yeah,
it's super weird.
Yeah.
So like I've had a lot of, and like I said, like my family's quite intuitive, so we've had a lot of experiences over the past couple of years, and it's hard because like there's certain people in our family who turn it off,
right,
who do not want that,
yeah.
And then there's certain people who have kind of just dealt with it. Like I kind of think myself, like for the most part, I'm like 90% turn it off.
Yeah.
Like the 10%. My mom is like 20% turned it off.
Right.
So she like experiences things on a such different level than I do. And my sister has nothing.
Wow,
Nothing. Like she's never, I think maybe I don't know, maybe she does like 1%.
Right. Like she lost her keys and she's always able to find them. Something silly like that.
Yeah. But there's not, I don't think ever been that high.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. So like I feel like I've had a lot of experiences, but it's kind of hard for me to put a lot of them into like words really.
But it's also kind of like, is this like a false memory or is this something that happened? Like I struggle with that a lot too. I'll never forget. Okay, so like my whole life always like been really susceptible to like this kind of thing. I'll never forget I was at a Oh, I just remembered. Okay, so I was at a sleepover. My mom's aunt and uncle were visiting, and we were supposed to go to Sequoia. And I was like, I don't want to go. Like, I'm going to be so bored. I don't want to go. I want to go to this sleepover with my friends. And my mom, like, gave me a guilt trip. But she was, like, ultimately, like, okay, you can go. Like, it's fine. And I'll never forget, I was there. And I'm the kid who will not sleep at a sleepover. Like, ever. I'll be awake. But we all happen to be awake. But, like, everybody was, like, about to go to sleep. And I was just sitting there. Suddenly, my left ear goes out. Like, you know when you, like, that horrible beeping?
Yes.
Which they say is, like, your eardrum not being able to hear at that frequency anymore. Anyway, that happened. Everything went muffled. And then suddenly out of the corner of my eye, I see a woman in like white. And I'm like, at first, and I do this a lot, well, I'll dismiss it. I'll be like, oh, it's her mom. And then I'm like, that's not her mom. And then I'll look and it's too late. But I've seen it out of the corner of my eye, like fully.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't know, like just there. She wasn't like floating or anything. She was just like a really pale figure. And I was like, what the and I was like, did anybody else see that? Because then my ear snapped back. And I was like, and then I was like, it's nothing. You're fine. It's nothing. You're fine. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that was something. Because all of my friends remember me freaking out. So it wasn't even like I've made this up like after the fact.
Right. It's like you reacted to it and your friend saw that.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so weird. And I don't know why. I don't know who it could have been or like what for.
Well, I legitimately think it doesn't have – I just think there's some of us in this world who are more sensitive and attuned to like the veil or whatever the fuck it's
like
called.
Like the veil is thinner or whatever for some people.
And for certain people, for certain – places maybe.
Yeah.
I actually think I was touched once.
Touched by an angel.
Oh god, never. I don't remember whose shower I was in. I don't remember.
No. That's my irrational fear. Being in the shower and having something behind you or being in the shower and the lights turning off.
Oh yeah, the lights for sure.
That stressed me out.
I don't remember where, so I've moved so much in my life I don't even remember where the fuck I was. But I remember washing my hair, and I remember this light tap on my butt.
No. Just a love tap.
It literally was like it was just like, good going, you know?
It was your roommate.
I actually thought that. I was like, oh my God. Like I turned around so fucking fast.
God.
Nothing. And actually now that I remember, the particular position of the shower wasn't really like anywhere near a door or facing the out. It was like in a corner, like along a wall. It wasn't near a door. And I remember being really fucking, it gave me chills again. I remember being kind of freaked out, but like kind of for the first time. So I must have been like 20, being like, oh shit, that just happened.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I've felt it a few times over the past like while that I had lived there.
Yeah.
But nothing ever.
Yeah.
I never saw anything.
Wow, interesting.
But why the fucking shower?
Yeah, that's so weird.
Like who's touching
You're just
me?
like at a girl.
Good job with your hair.
You're doing great. Keep it up.
Seriously, like I don't understand. Like
it's so weird.
And I always wonder if it I wondered if it was an intentional touch.
Yeah.
Or if it was just some sort of
who knows
way of communicating like
right
like because I never really thought about it before until like it actually happened a few times and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
That is so weird.
Yeah. I actually had forgotten about this. Wow. This is a memory I haven't thought about in like 10 years. It's been a long time.
That's crazy. I mean, I definitely, if I walk into a certain place, I'll be like, I can't go there. You know? Or I'll be like, I need to leave. Or like, this feels weird. Sometimes it'll just be like a feeling of like a little bit of apprehension, but like it's fine.
Right.
But sometimes I'll be like, I refuse to go into that corner or for like... For no reason. It's not like I hear a voice being like, don't go in the corner.
Yeah.
It's just like
it's a feeling.
Don't want to go there.
Right.
Yeah, it's so weird to think about.
So I don't really get those vibes anymore, but the thing I do get more now than I did ever before was that like I'll get sounds super hippy dippy. I'll get like these aura senses.
Oh, interesting.
So back when I was like 22, I think when I lived in Australia, I bursted out crying. This man had walked into the restaurant that my mom was working at. So I was like visiting her for lunch for the day. I was eating. I saw this man. He had like this orange aura around him. Wow. And I burst out crying because I was convinced he was going to die that day. I don't know.
He did.
I didn't want to know.
Oh my God.
No, I didn't.
Did he?
I don't know.
Jax.
I really don't know. Like,
wow.
A part of me knows that if I find out some of this information, that I feel like I'm never going to get over it.
Right.
And so there's a huge part of me that's kind of like, I'm not sure.
No, yeah.
Going
Like,
about my
you can draw
day.
your own conclusions, but that's it. Like,
Yeah.
you'll never know.
Like, how the fuck would I even know?
I don't know.
Like, hey, mister.
Unless it was like a crazy freak accident or something.
But even then,
yeah.
What the fuck?
That's so crazy.
So, like, sometimes I'll have those feelings about
orange
people.
to you is not good.
Honestly, he was the only person that ever made me feel that way ever in my life. Yeah. But I definitely get certain colors from certain people, which is like you said, like a feeling and a vibe.
Yeah, it's not even like you're like, you've got purple around you or whatever. Right. Yeah, I get it.
Right. It's more like a... Yeah, I don't know. It's super weird.
Like you're feeling purple to me or something, you know? Like
you're very purpley today.
That's so interesting. I've always been like intrigued by the aura. Like part of me is like obviously I can't see it. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Right.
But and then part of me is like so intrigued by people who can see that. Like what the fuck does that mean? What does it trigger? Is it like a feeling more than a color?
Yeah,
or is it
I think it is a feeling more than a color. Like I thought about it for a really long time after that because I was scared and really confused but intrigued at the same time. Yeah. I thought that what had happened is that my feelings were attaching itself to my frontal lobe and forcing the color in my eyes to feel to go a certain way.
Like a weird synesthesia kind of thing.
What's that?
Synesthesia is when you see sound.
Oh,
or
totally.
Like, you know, I used to have a little bit of that when I was little, actually. And I remember distinctly talking to my mom, and I don't have it so much now. Like, I can kind of recall like a ghost memory, but now if you show me B, it doesn't mean anything. But I remember when I was little, I was like, isn't it weird how B is blue? Or like C, I think was orange or something like that. I was like, isn't that weird? And my mom was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But like, I don't think those are the right colors. Like, I feel wrong saying that. Right. But I remember distinctly like, wow. The alphabet had a color, like each letter. It was so weird.
Holy fuck, dude. Yeah. That's fucking crazy.
But that was it. That and numbers. Some numbers had different colors. Like, damn. 3 is still kind of green to me. Not like, I don't know why. I think maybe it's like a leftover, but like 5 is yellow. That one for certain 5 is yellow. I don't know why. Certain. It's so weird.
It's crazy. Like, I think, man, I would just love to know what the fuck that even means. That is diving so deep into like our consciousness and mental, brain firings. Like I can't even verbalize the words for it. It's like so confusing for me. But like I think that's what it was. I think it was my brain.
We're going science here. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Because like while I do think that the intuitive portion of people I think is otherworldly, I do think that there is some science behind some things. Okay. I don't know.
Okay. No, like, I mean I wrestle with that a lot too.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
I think it's both for some things, you know? So I think it was my brain's way of reacting to something that he was giving off.
Right. So it was your way of like visually seeing that feeling that he was giving you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Or the feeling around him.
Yeah.
Did you ever read?
What?
So actually, when I read this book, this was the first time I was really like, oh shit, that makes total sense to me now. What was it? Cloud Atlas?
Do you remember? I fucking love that book.
Okay, that book, yes. That movie, book, no. Book, yes. Movie, no.
I like the movie.
Oh shit,
the movie is good.
Time.
The movie is good. It's like so 4 hours long. Not really. It's like 3 hours. I like the movie because I like that kind of like time travel-y kind of like futuristic shit.
But isn't that what happened? Am I thinking the right book?
I don't know. Are you?
That the dust would pile onto something. Yeah. Okay. The dust would be attracted to something that would happen. So there'd be a whole bunch of dust on a person and like
yeah.
Fuck,
could be.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Could be. I haven't finished the book. I haven't started it, to be fair.
God damn it!
I read like 2 pages on an airplane, and I can't read on the planes.
So go and read this book. Cloud Atlas refers to like dust or like this sprinkle of something happening to people, and then you kind of know that something's going to happen to them. So that's kind of like what it was really for my brain.
Interesting.
That it was like a visual dust.
Right. Huh. Interesting.
You got to read this book.
Okay. Yeah.
Super good.
It's like 5,000 pages long.
It is, but it's a really easy read.
Okay. Well, it started off really boring.
It does.
I think I read 10 pages, actually, now that I think of it.
You got to give it 100.
He's like on the merchant ship.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to read it because I actually really like the movie and I like the idea of it. So I'm definitely going to finish it.
I almost thought the Cloud Atlas could be like another Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
But it didn't.
No, because they put it all in one movie instead of like having multiples. I mean, the cast was great, but no, it had Tom Hanks.
I remember that, but why do I always get that confused with the fucking Christmas movie?
Oh, no. What?
The one about the train?
No! I don't know
why I always get
Isn't that one even animated?
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
I think it's because it's Tom Hanks not being like normal Tom Hanks. Maybe that's why.
Oh, that's right. Ew, wasn't what's-her-face Catwoman in this?
She wasn't. Yeah. Halle Berry.
God, this was not a
How
good
dare
movie.
you? How dare you? Like, that's her, like,
Her
shining
thing.
role.
Her thing.
Oh, my God.
It's the worst thing. It's like in terms of her movies, it's Catwoman the worst, and then Cloud Atlas.
No.
It's not good. It's not good.
It's really not as bad as you think it is. You need to rewatch it.
Okay, maybe.
You need to rewatch it.
But maybe I loved the book so much, it just didn't hold a flame.
It could be. Yeah. It also has what's his name that I fucking love. He plays Q in James Bond. He's the small British guy. He's been in like everything. I love him. He's always playing gay character. He was in London Spy, which I want to watch desperately, but I feel like it's not a movie a show I want to watch with my mom. I don't know.
Hold on. Q in what?
James Bond.
James Bond.
The newest.
Ben Whishaw. That couldn't have happened more perfectly.
Yeah, he's the one who has the gay love story, and that's what I love so much. And he keeps his letters when he's old and the other guy died. It was so romantic.
But I actually, his most standout performance for me was from Perfume.
I don't think I watched that.
Story of a Murderer. So it's like 1910 London. His mom births him, pushes him underneath the counter.
What?
Like, he's abandoned.
Aww.
He grows up to be like this murderer,
yeah,
but who has this really innate sense of smell.
This sounds vaguely familiar. And doesn't he take out like lymph nodes or something like that from people? I think it's something else.
No, but that's the premise of the show that they decided to like base this off of.
Oh, okay.
But in the movie, he becomes a perfumier.
Sure.
Okay. And then kills people kills women
for their scent.
Interesting.
That's fucking creepy.
It's super creepy, and he is so fucking good.
Dude, he's really underappreciated, I feel like. He's pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah. Agreed. Have you guys ever had any paranormal encounters? Do you have any superstitions or any weird kind of things that have happened in your family? Definitely hit us up on Instagram or on Twitter. We would love to feature your guys' story. We're all about that spoopy shit.
I want to hear all of it.
Every single little bit.
I live for this hot tea.